This is my new helmet. Oop. Nobody saw that. I actually bought it a while ago. I just love the MX-9s. They fit my head so perfectly. I mean, it's an even distribution of pressure throughout my entire skull. Well, maybe except the insides of my cheeks right here. The pad could be a little bit looser right there, but I really can't complain. I'm hoping it sounds nice. I decided to test it out because of the taller windscreen, and I actually heard myself pretty fine. So I'm hoping that this motovlog turns out okay. I've also been testing out my heated liners. So far, pretty good. I like them so far. There's a jack that's inside the jacket, and oh, that's too hot. Half the time I can't tell if it's too hot or if that's the cold, because that's, you know, at one point hot begins to feel like cold. Let's turn it off and see how that feels. Because the reason I wanted the gloves so much was because, or the heated liner so much, was because my hands would just freeze. So I wanted to get some electric ones, but then I thought, oh, my torso is going to get pretty cold too, so I should probably get a heated jacket liner. And so I originally was going to go for First Gear, but I couldn't find any of their stuff, and it turns out that stuff was discontinued anyway, for some reason. So I was shopping around, and Gerbing was a little bit more expensive, and I actually had to buy the battery harness and the controller separately. But I like them so far. A little complicated. The pants are great. I also bought the dual controller so I could control my gloves and my torso and legs separately, but as it turns out, I don't need to control my gloves and my torso separately. I need to control my torso and my legs separately. Because apparently my legs will freeze very, very quickly. So the pants are working out pretty good, but I can't seem to get the torso right. It just feels cold all the time. I don't know if it's just not powerful enough, or if it's actually just really powerful and the heat just feels like cold. The dual temp controller is a little difficult to grab with my gloves because they're very big. It's a bit cumbersome to actually put on beneath everything, because I also bought the TerraTrek pants that I told you about. And so it takes me like 15-20 minutes to get everything on, locate everything, and put everything in my jacket, like my wallet, my phone and stuff. And just to make sure everything's all hooked up. That's if I'm dilly-dallying. If I'm rushing, it'll probably take about maybe 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. The hardest part is my gloves, because I bought the gloves that are supposed to hug your wrist. The gloves that go over your jacket are complicated, especially with the wires, but I'm kind of wishing I did, because these gloves are just slightly too bulky to go underneath my jacket. And this is actually the first time, as you can probably see with my helmet camera, this is possibly the first time I've tried putting them over my jacket, and they've worked out fine. So far, anyway. I kept getting the draft before, right up my arm.